Hi guys, welcome to the third video of our Pytest series, and it's gonna be the last video and it's gonna be the most important video. So guys, today we'll be doing something that's very interesting, uh, very unique as well. I don't see many people do this, not sure why. Probably because the idea is that doing some stuff on YouTube is far more different than what's exactly done in industry and how you could perhaps use what you learn in your domain, right? So let's talk about PyTest in action and let's just talk about ML model drift. So guys, today we'll be doing a very uh, a nice exercise. It's gonna help you understand very much the basics of development life cycle. Okay, so what happens, guys, is at a very basic level is that oftentimes you would find a main or a production branch. Okay, in GitHub. So this happens very frequently. We have a main or production branch. So the first step usually involves that we create a new branch. And like if you are new to my YouTube channel and you want to learn more about GitHub, I have a dedicated video for that. So you could just check it into my generative AI playlist. But let's just stick to this only. I'll talk about, I'll do my self promotion a little later. I think this is very important. So once I create a new branch, what's the next thing that we do is we do coding or whatever changes we need to do in the new branch. And then we commit the changes. Now, once we are committing the changes, guys, first of all, there are two aspects to be considered. One is that let's say there were few other people whose code is also being pushed over here, and they must also have been doing some sort of stuff in the main branch, right? And now you have created a new branch that was based on main branch, so it's based on what, it's based on production branch. So you created this, and now you are in a situation that you're like, hey, I have done few changes. So what you did is on the main branch, you added one feature. Now you want to test that everything works fine. So it doesn't happen in a way that you go for a manual testing. So usually most organizations do both testing. Okay, one is manual testing as well as automated testing, but automated testing is mostly that's preferred, and manual testing is something that's little less done, specifically if you're working in a good, like in an organization where the tech culture is nice. So you won't necessarily be involved in a lot of manual testing. A lot of things are handled by automated testing. So what we are going to do is we are going to implement CI, that's continuous integration. So you will be using GitHub Actions, since like GitHub Actions is good, great starting point. So you'll be using GitHub Actions, and we'll be just trying to like wrap up everything inside a PyTest script. So what will exactly happen is the task for today is you'll have a data set. Okay. You will fit a ML model on it. I think you are very well versed with these two steps. The next step is we'll write a test script. Okay, that would be based out of PyTest. And whenever you're going to push your changes to the dev branch which you have created, or guys, you will push the changes even directly to main, or whenever you will like create any push or PR request, every time those tests would be running. So why is this important, guys? See guys, these type of things are very important because let's say you added some feature F1 and F0 was already there. Now you are happy that you added it, but because of you adding a feature F1, F0 got affected. Then what you will do? So guys, in industry standard practice, it's very essential to just be on the top of your game. So just understand that why this is very important and why I'm making a series on PyTest. See, people, specifically AI ML based workloads, would shift to generative AI. All the coding would be done by AI. So if coding and everything is being done by AI, then what would you do? Initially you would be like mostly doing a lot of testing, guys. Okay, even if today, let's say you generate some code out of chat GPT, you just don't throw it in like, I don't throw it in, I test it first. and then if I'm satisfied with it, I go about and push it. What would someone who's even smarter than me is do? He would just focus on developing test cases, right? Obviously, like sometimes I write, sometimes I don't write. So if you want to even like get the stuff done, whatever code you're getting, write test cases, check it. If it works, good. If it doesn't work, stop. This way you will ensure that you're not pushing anything out there, guys. This is very important. So let's just move to the demo and try to understand what we have done. So the code and everything would be given to you, don't worry about that. So there's this ML drift detection, and let me throw some more light on the problem statement in hand as well, that what is we are going to do at an ML level. At an process level, I taught you that we'll be writing some tests which would get executed as and when you will push the code to the branch, as well as if you will create a PR. That is okay. That's not a big deal. On an ML level, what we are doing is, like this system, what I'm designing is that let's say new data comes in, right? So your new data comes in, and now the model is getting deployed based on new data set. So guys, we'll be writing some code such that it will check that if the accuracy is greater than 0.8. So assume that the accuracy is rise in this range, okay? And the thing is that if it is greater than like 0.8, then only your PyTest script would be succeeded, otherwise it would fail. So just try to think in this sense, guys, okay? That how are you measuring your model's drift? So what is model drift, right? So model drift is the fact that over time what happens is that if you have a base model, okay, and your data is increasing, okay, so your data is going up. So let's just take two axes, that if you're like let's just, this is your y-axis and this is your x-axis. So let's say your data is here. So if your data is going up, so there is a possibility that your accuracy would also go up, but there is a possibility that with increase in data your accuracy can go down as well, for any reasons better known to you guys. So anything can happen, right? More data can mean more accuracy, can mean less accuracy. So if there is less accuracy, then you would do, maybe you will change the model, you would do better feature engineering. So all these things usually are automated in an environment where things are being like, where like you're doing proper coding. So I'll be showing you one of such use cases, and don't worry guys, it is relatively a simpler use case, you don't have to worry about anything. So let's just try to open what I'm build cmd. So let's just wait for 1-2 minutes until my keyboard connects. I think it is connected now, not sure. Let's just see whether it's connected. Yes, it's connected. So let's just open VS Code. And here we are. So what we have done, so first of all guys, just try to see, this is my script that I'm using to create data. Nothing magical. Importing numpy and pandas, create, setting a random seed, generating 1,000 samples, and this is the data set. So directly in the repository you will find this data.csv. So this is the data set, guys, okay? Just assume this is the data set. We have 3 variables. So we have x1, x2 and x3, and our target variable is y. So guys, I think this is very much clear, right? If you want to see the data set, let's just see that as well. So this is what the data set is. I didn't download the data set, I just generated it. That's part one. Part two is guys like your model train.py. So this is fine. This is a simple linear regression, guys. No, nothing magical. I'm reading the data. I'm creating an x and y. I'm splitting the data into training and test data. I'm initializing the model. I am fitting the model on training data. Then I'm doing the testing on test data. Then I'm computing R square. It's very basic regression stuff, right? Nothing magical. So you do this kind of stuff, and this is pretty much very normal. Anyone can do this, no magic in here. Now comes some magic. So the first thing that you need to understand is my folder directory. So as I said that you need to create a folder called test, and here I have written the script's name as test underscore model. So as I said, just try to start your script name with test underscore. Okay, just try to remember this and then write whatever you want at the rate dot py. So let's just see what I have written over here. So simple guys, first of all, it's so simple, nothing has been done. The entire training code remains the same, right? Whatever logic, whatever business logic, I'm just talking about regression. Put in anything over here. All I'm doing, this is the main thing that you need to know. Reading the data, you know it. Separating XY, good. Train test split. I don't have to tell you about that, right? We are talking about PyTest and like discussing in terms of model drift. So if you are talking about model drift, probably you would know what model is, so that's okay. Then we are talking about training a model, then predicting the model. Now comes the magic. So we are asserting that is our r square greater than 0.7. If it is there, good. Otherwise guys, it will give you this r square is too low, and this is a placeholder with an f string, so it would come that r square is less than zero point 0.7. That means this condition will fail. Now once you see that this condition is failing, tell me guys, would you create a PR or would you improve the model? Your manager is mass checking and having a look at the main branch. You will obviously improve the model, right? Because you have realized that hey, new data has come in and my model has shown bad performance due to any reason. It's just that model has drifted, right? The performance over time has decreased, which is a very natural phenomenon in a lot of organizations. Even in some organizations, guys, over time models performance increase. So even right now, like I also plan to incur whatever I'm doing. I try to make sure that okay, today we are here, but it's not that every time we'll be here only. How do you make sure that over time the system improves? That's the part of a good product as well. On day zero it might not be perfect, but over time how it could be perfect. So that's something you need to keep in mind. And now you just have to just remember how simple this function is, guys. And similarly, other thing for MSC. So we are just ensuring that MSC is below a threshold. So what you need to do is that you need to run the script. How would you run it? I've been telling you so many times. Just write tests. Sorry, just write PyTest. Everything is going to be automatically taken care of. And you would find out that all our test cases pass or some fail. You would just see the results yourself. See guys, both our test cases passed. First I checked it in my local and now I'm satisfied that hey, my test cases are passing. Now what I'll do is, let's say I changed it to zero point 0.6. Just any random change in the code you can do, and so that you could basically like just send some stuff or push some code to your branch. Now the thing is, check this, how from where GitHub actions will get executed. So first of all, create this folder .github. Under it create a subfolder workflows, and under it create a YAML file. Just see what YAML file is. And guys, it's okay if you don't know how to create YAML file, you can get it with the chat GPT as well. Just try to understand how to do it. So first of all, what is the name of the activity or pipeline are you going to run? So it's going to be CI pipeline on push branches main and dev. So whenever anything would be pushed on these two branches, this script would run, or a pull request is created on these two branches. So right now in my code, in my GitHub repository, so this is my GitHub repo, I have two branches. Okay, one branch is main and another branch is Aditya dev. So this is the production branch and this is the branch that I have created, like how we usually do. And then where your job is going to run out, job is exactly the task you want to make it run. So what are the steps? So these are some static steps, right? You want to just make sure that Python is set up in the virtual environment and everything. Then your dependencies are installed. This all will remain static, guys, whenever you are doing anything. Okay, this won't change. The thing that will change is what you need to do. So you need to do this run tests and pytest command. Max fail one. So max fail one is means that if once you occur one failure, stop the entire thing. Don't go on to check anything because some stuff has failed. Even what some organization do is they ensure that we have 80%, like they do 0.8% of 80% of the test cases are covered and they are good to deploy. Yeah, so usually guys, let me show you how bugs are also defined. Since we are talking about testing, it would serve as a good thing. Let me show you how bugs are defined. So enterprise level chatbot code testing. So I'll just show you that how bugs and all are also defined in an organization. So just like let me close it. So just ignore this and stuff. So just click on this. Let me just zoom in a bit as well. So usually whenever someone is testing, they do something like this. Okay, I think, yeah. So you're gonna just be seeing this. So P0 is blocker. That means, hey, it's gonna block the entire system. Fix it ASAP. Then you have P1, which is a critical bug. Fix it again ASAP. Then there is a major, minor, and trivial. So the thing is that only, right? I hope you understand that this is how bugs are classified. Like, I think a lot of organization follow this thing. Now the thing is that we are doing good is that we are writing a YAML file. What it's gonna do is it's gonna run this command, and when it's gonna, like, this activity would be triggered whenever there is a push on these branches. So let's push it. Let's push our code. uh so added added R2. So just write anything, okay? For the time being, I can't think of a good message because we haven't done anything in the code. So let's just sync the changes, and now let's go to GitHub and let's just see what is happening. Now let's just click on repository. Let's just click over here. Let's click over here. This is main branch. So see, I can switch branches from here. And let's just see added R2. Let's just see the details. Let's just close it for the time being. See guys, how your CI pipeline is running. So basically, what was the thing that would mainly get executed over here, guys? Tell me. This command. This is the main command, guys. Pytest. So the same thing, right? I also wrote Pytest. The same thing is gonna happen on GitHub server, okay? And if you'd see, everything got succeeded. So run test 2 passed in 0.66. So if anything would fail, you will see this green become red. And now you can do these things at your own branch and then only create a PR, okay? Don't just create a PR. Otherwise it doesn't look nice, and just be aware of these things. So guys, see, these are the things that you need to understand. Okay, let's just go to the board and discuss what we did and how and when you can use PyTest in your uh, curriculum or in your organization. So guys, see, mostly PyTest is not difficult. Let me first make one thing very clear, that PyTest is not difficult. Only thing difficult is to understand and define test cases. Okay, first time it will take some time for you to write. The next thing is, make sure that whenever you're doing some development, you define some test cases. Then let's say your manager comes and says, Aditya, this is not working for me. Can you just tweak it a bit? Then you would say, okay, sir, I'm gonna again do some development. But this time, guys, once you, let's say, have F1, F2, and 3 features over here, and now you add one more thing, F1, F2, and F3. Let's say you added F4 as well. Now you feel the product is nice. But maybe by adding F4, your F1 got like screwed up. What would you do then? So just to ensure that everything is in sync, it's best to write a PyTest file and run it. And guys, it's very simple to run it. This is the command, right? So I just showed you like how you can do testing, and perhaps the thing is that on most occasion, like, this is best used with fast API. And I have plans. I can't commit right now, but I probably have plans, since I've spent a lot of time understanding fast API lately, on doing some stuff in that front, because this is like really amazing, specific to generative AI. So it's just very natural to pick. It's based on async, right? So it just integrates very well with this. So you can do a lot of API testing. So obviously guys, all these things are very important for you guys to understand specifically in terms of testing. Initially, if you are like young and in your initial part of your career, you might have to do a lot of testing as well. It's the hard reality. It's not that on day one someone will give you a code base and you will do and commit and be happy with it. Sometimes you need to do testing as well, and it's normal, guys. Even on this like testing and fun, I was thinking that even if you want, what you could just understand here is that we discussed CI plus PyTest, and the next section that's left is CD, that's continuous deployment. So how you can make sure that, let's say, Aditya pushes code to a branch, my tests ran. If my tests are automatically running and automatically it pushes to the main branch, so all these things are also possible. These are very natural things. Slowly you can spend some time in figuring out, but just try to understand that this is where it's actually used, like specifically this model drift, because over time like accuracy may dip over time, right? So this is your accuracy, and with time, so as your time is increasing, you might have your accuracy going down. So it's not that you would see it, but just having a system which would run those test cases, right? And you just occasionally need to monitor those, and even you don't need to monitor anything. Once they fail, like in systems, you will receive a mail. If they succeed, it's okay, you won't receive a mail. I mean, you will still sometimes receive a mail, but just ignore those. So, guys, this is how you need to establish the ways of working and do something that's little more, let's say, technical and perhaps a little more process oriented in terms of just formalizing the way you work on testing. I mean, I have had a lot of time experimenting with testing, and what really works for me is that to do something, okay, and like I would make sure that I do it from now onwards, because like in order to teach you PyTest, I had to learn it myself as well, so I had spent a lot of time on this. PyTest is a good option to start with, and then guys some manual testing, and then combining both of them in order to create one sheet, and just marking it as critical, like a critical, major, and all those order, and just focusing on the workflows. Because guys, I'll tell you, if you're working, let's say, at multiple projects, right, multiple projects, and let's say 2 3 projects fail at the same day, then this will help you prioritize stuff better, right? These are very important things at a managerial level as well. So focus on whatever you want to focus, but I think this would give you a glimpse of how to use PyTest and how to really formulate the idea of testing, specifically using PyTest. As in when I'll show you more things as well, slowly, specifically, because testing is very boring. But the truth is, guys, um, I mean, with AI, I think if your testing pipeline is nice, you can like ship a lot of stuff, because the thing is, AI would do a lot of heavy lifting. But I mean, it's good to test stuff, right? Who knows if something fails? And guys, one last comment on this only, on AI doing stuff. So just try to focus on one thing, guys. AI is gonna do most of the stuff, right? Let's get it straight. On like the software engineering workbench, let me just see what is the O3's performance on SW3 bench. SWO3 evals, eval, OpenAI software engineering. hmm Benchmark. Not RGGI. Okay, I think it would be in OpenAI's website only. Because guys, people don't like know a lot about benchmarks as well, so that's okay. I think they haven't updated a lot of blogs as well on O3, because I mean, it makes sense right now. It's holiday season there, so let me just see if they have the evals. No, I think they haven't published the evals yet. So they showed it in the video. So yeah, I don't want to like get into copyright issues as such. So I think like the Claude Sonnet has a performance of about, I think, 50. in terms of SWE bench. So that means out of 100 it is 50. So things are improving, guys. Okay, AI can already do a lot of coding for you, so coding would be done by AI. But later on, now guys, just make sure that you test the code and have knowledge of it, because guys, sometimes you will realize that AI really like messes up the code repository as well. It just gives you a lot of unnecessary stuff. So that is why my focus is on testing, guys, because sometimes you just overcommit. That means when I say overcommit, not like English, you overcommit the code. So more code, more issues, more dependencies and stuff. So ensure that the testing is robust. Thank you, guys, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and just reach out to me on Instagram or LinkedIn if you have any doubts. Thank you and have a great day ahead.